So you must be the friend I've heard so much about. Well, of course. He talks about you all the time. Well, here is my official thank you for being such an amazing friend. I can just tell. Just having you around has made him so much happier. And every time he talks about you, he always has a big smile on his face. Though, like how everyone says, a friend of his is a friend of mine. Oh, I'm so sorry. How rude of me. I'm his older sister. Oh, you've heard of me? I guess I don't have to introduce myself then. I am curious, though. What has he said about me? Hopefully nothing too personal. Aw, that really does sound like him. Speaking of which, he did mention that he was going to be right back. Just needed to go get something. So for now, it's just me and you. I'd love to get to know you more, especially as my brother's best friend. I mean, of course. You seem to be making my brother very happy. And the last thing I'd want is to leave a bad impression. So, I would love to get to know you more. And besides, it would be nice to hear about you guys. He doesn't really open up about anything, so maybe I could get to know his personal life through you. Maybe I'm being too nosy, but that's what older sisters do. We worry, we stress, and we try to give as much advice as possible. And we try to be there, emotionally. But if I don't know what's going on, then I don't really have much to work off of. So, if you don't personally mind, I would love to get to know you guys a bit more. So, for starters, tell me how you guys met. Really? I do remember him talking about this. But he never mentioned who. Now that you mention it, it does make sense. Ever since that happened, he wasn't able to stop talking about a certain somebody. He would always describe you as an amazing friend. Never have I ever heard anything negative about you. Yeah, I'm being serious. And every time you guys planned something, he was always super excited. And you know him. He's a little more introverted than others. So seeing him excited to interact with someone else, well, I think it speaks for itself. But overall, I'm really happy that the two of you are friends. I mean, you seem like an amazing person. Sometimes you're all I hear about. So I would say I know a few details about you. But if you don't mind, I kind of wanted to jump to another conversation real quick. I've been thinking about this for a few months now and wasn't really able to address it with you. Yeah, I know. You're probably wondering, what does my best friend's sister want? And I'll tell you. My brother is, he doesn't really talk about his social life with me, but like I mentioned, he does talk about you a lot. And something that he brought up was a conversation the two of you had, where I was brought up. And I was wondering, is that really what you said? About me in particular? You don't remember? Well, if you don't mind, I'll refresh your memory. I recall from what he told me that you thought I was very, very beautiful. Of course, as my brother, he was a little surprised that you would say such a thing. But he mentioned you said it in a very respectful manner. And I just wanted to ask, is that really how you feel? Oh, and of course, this conversation, it's gonna stay between us. So don't you worry, I won't tell a soul. As long as you don't. Oh, what's wrong? You seem to be getting flustered. You're embarrassed? Oh, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. In all honesty, I take this as a huge compliment. And if you're wondering, it's not that I'm asking about. More so, I was wondering if that was the only thing you thought. Was there anything else? Oh, come on. I think we both know that acting confused isn't going to get you out of this. These are your words, after all. I just want to know the full extent of how you feel. And I will say this. If you're honest with me, then I'll make it worth your while. There you go. Starting to open up a little bit. I understand why you were so scared, but no need. I'm not here to scrutinize you or anything, but more so just get to know you more on my own level. Because everything I know is because of my brother. But I would like to get to know you on my own terms, especially after what you said about me. And with that, I think I can safely say we mutually want to get to know each other more. I will say, holding up this act that I didn't know anything was really, really difficult. Because I'm not going to lie, over time I grew more and more interested. And at certain times, I almost became desperate. But I wasn't about to force anything on you, especially since, well, we didn't really know each other. But even so, it seems right now, I guess, that doesn't really matter. I don't know if you've gotten the hint yet, but I also think you're really cute. Ever since I saw photos of you, I just told myself, wow, my brother's best friend is really my type. That's such a weird thing to say. It feels borderline dirty. But it's truly how I felt. And I didn't know how he was going to react. I mean, imagine his best friend and his sister. I will say, pretty scandalous. He wouldn't be able to look at us the same. So, for his sake, probably should keep this a secret. Well, you seem to like that idea. In fact, you seem to be enjoying this more than I expected. I'm going to be honest, I was a little scared on how this conversation would go. But to my surprise, we're on the same wavelength. So, in that case, I don't think we should have any issues being completely honest to one another. So what do you say? Why don't you tell me exactly how you feel? It's a little deeper than, oh, she's pretty, isn't it? How can I tell? Well, something that you should know is I'm a very observant person. There was one time where I was actually outside of the house while you were staying over. I believe you were having some sort of sleepover with my brother. And I saw you, watching my every move through the window. And for the short period I was outside the house, you couldn't keep your eyes off me. Your gaze told me everything that I needed to know. But just to confirm, I'd like to hear it from you. I want to hear you say those words, just because I want a memory of it. That was so adorable. Oh my gosh. So my suspicions were correct. You do have a crush on me, even though it was kind of obvious. But not to my brother, so let's just keep it at that for him. But I will say, this works out perfectly for me. Well, yeah, someone who's my literal type saying that they have a crush on me? How could it get any better? If you don't mind, there's something that I've really wanted to do for a long time. Do you mind? It's gonna be hard to keep this a secret, but let's do our best.
Sis?